Hi there, it's Lizard from Isurus, and today we're looking at a reverb pedal by Marshall called the RF-1 Reflector. Overall this series is really cool. They're like small, compact, really solid, really well built. They look like they'll last forever. I like the way the chassis kind of stops your foot getting anywhere near the knobs. This is a digital reverb, gives you 6 different modes. You've got a hall, a plate, a couple of different springs, a room, and a kind of bonus reverse reverb. So this knob here is a 6-way mode switch, and then you should be able to see it down here. Gives you the 6 different modes there, so you just cycle through them. The one problem, you're probably not going to be able to see these indicators very well because they're the kind of shiny metal knobs, and that is a bit of an issue with all these pedals. It's kind of hard to see where your settings are. But so for each reverb you've got your reverb, which is your reverb time, damping, which when it's fully clockwise is normal, it's not doing anything, and then the more you turn it anti-clockwise, the more kind of high frequency it damps and cuts out to kind of drop the reverb back in the mix a bit. And then finally just your level, so that's kind of your wet dry mix of the reverb signal. So we'll kind of leave these fairly central, and I'll just kind of go through the modes just so you can hear the different algorithms. So first, the hall. Then we've got the plate. And we've got room, I think. Yep. Then we've got 2 spring modes. So spring 1. and spring 2. So spring 2 is just kind of longer than spring 1 really, bigger spring. And then the final one is the reverse, which is sort of more of a kind of special effect thing, and I think they've just thrown it in there as a little bonus sort of feature. But could be useful in some situations, but really a kind of little extra bonus thing. One thing I haven't done anything with so far is this damping control. So I've left it over where it's doing nothing, so it's letting all the high frequencies through. But I'll just show you just on the Hall one, so it's kind of quite noticeable because there's a long reverb tail, and just show you kind of how it sort of buries the reverb by reducing kind of the amount of reflections and EQ of it, really kind of cutting off the high. So you can see, like, if I was to play just kind of just little lead lines, and then backing off this kind of to dampen it more, the reverb becomes kind of less dominating and less sort of obvious. And this is actually a really useful feature. It kind of just helps the reverb kind of sit better with whatever you're playing, if you don't want it to be too kind of intense but still have quite a lot of ambient sort of time in there. So yeah, very cool. So if you can see there, you've got output 1 and 2. At the moment I've just been using it in front of the amp, just straight through. It's the only pedal in the chain. You could use it in a stereo effects loop, or you could use it with other stereo effects on a board. So it's really cool at this kind of price point that you're getting a stereo output. It's a bit of a shame in a way that it doesn't have stereo input as well, so you could have a stereo delay before it or something, but the reason it has the other jack here is actually for an expression pedal. So I'm going to plug in a Roland DV5, and we'll keep it on the Hall one again so it makes it obvious. You can now control the reverb time here with your foot. So if I've got the pedal fully back, then if I push the pedal fully forward, good feature. Again, it's a really well featured pedal. They're basic, simple, utilitarian kind of reverb sounds, but that's what you need for most things. You're just going to need a spring or a hall reverb, really. The way the reverb knob works here is you set that and that's your maximum level. So I set it kind of halfway. When I've got my expression pedal maxed out, it'll only be half reverb, as opposed to if I have it fully, that's it, the expression pedal hasn't moved. So yeah, you're just setting your max of the range, really, which is quite cool. So now I'm just going to mess around with a few of the modes with a bit of distortion, just so you can hear what it sounds like. So yeah, overall, I think it's, for the price especially, it's about £85 over here in the UK. You've got a lot of features for that money. You've got 6 different modes, you've got quite good control, you've got, you know, for most sort of uses, you just need kind of reverb time and mix, and, you know, and having that high cut's an extra kind of added feature. So it does everything to get yourself standard kind of reverb sounds. Having the expression pedal input's really cool, and the fact that it's got stereo outputs is awesome. The only negative is really that I wish it had a stereo input as well, but so it was full stereo, but there you go. But for the money, it's really well made, sounds good. I mean, it is a digital reverb, it's, you know, that's gives you that kind of digital reverb sound. For the money, they're great. I mean, obviously you've got lots of other choices, things like the Polara by Digitech, which is a much more kind of left field kind of reverb, and there's a lot of other things like that. And then the more kind of analogy sort of sounding reverbs like the Holy Grail from Electro Harmonics and things like that. But as a kind of straight up standard digital reverb, I think that it's great. So check one out. See you later.